It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. I am Braylon Edwards. I promise you, Ryan is here. He's just tending to some business. So this is the proof that he's here. You see his jacket. There's a water that you can't see right now, but I promise you, he is in the studio. But you know who is with us? It's Tom Mazawey. Tom, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Had a fun night last night. I did fall asleep on the couch watching the game, though. I got to admit. I did wake up for the last 6 minutes of the game so I get to see Jim Nance say goodbye to everybody. Hello, friends. Goodbye, friends. It was touching. Then you get to see one shining moment. But UConn, congrats to them. They dominated this tournament like no other team I have ever seen dominate a tournament like this.
Yeah, Coach Hurley and the boys really got going. I mean, you look at their 6 wins over the span of the tournament. You're talking Iona 87-63, St. Mary's, they beat them 70-55. You're talking about Arkansas, they beat them 88-65. The only game you thought they were going to have some competition were the Zags. I thought this was the Zags year and Nick Nurse.
They buried them.
Well, guess what? 82-54. Yeah. As you see here, Miami 72-59, and then last night they beat San Diego State by 17. As Fletcher's put up, they covered every
single spread
they played in. They covered the spread. You talking about a team favorite as it relates to betting and parlays.
You would have made a mint.
Yeah, they're unlike Trae Young. I guess they do care about the spread.
Isn't that something?
Fletcher in studio with us as always. JB back. Good to have you back, JB. Yeah, you know what, Maz? You were in the rare. I won't say rare. You probably were in the equal to minority of people that actually watched this game. Like, Maz, I knew I was out in this game. You just knew.
I knew you were out.
I was out in it. You know, the female tournament was better. The female national championship probably drew more viewers, and it was better. But it just, you knew what was going to happen with this UConn game. Like, we talked about it yesterday on the show. UConn had dominated every game in the tournament. They legitimately beat every outside opponent they faced this season that was outside of their conference. They were head and shoulders. They could shoot, defend. They had slashers. They had guys that can catch and shoot, guys that could take you off the dribble. They were dominant. They had a 7'1" guy who was dominant on the boards. Like, there was no way that San Diego State was going to have a chance. And they don't score. We talked about it. They play good defense. They don't score, and they got exposed. They didn't score a field goal for 11 minutes.
I know. They were in this game, guys. Till about 6 minutes to go. This was a 5-point game. They made a great run to get it down to 5, and then they could not score. You heard Braylon. I don't know how they were stuck on 59 for it seemed like 15 minutes of actual time. 59. So if you had 9 as one of your box numbers, and I lost on all my squares, by the way. But if you had 9 and you're like, oh man, they're gonna go over this. No, they couldn't hit a free throw. They couldn't hit a field goal. They couldn't do anything. But Brian Dutcher, man, I've always liked him.
Right.
Obviously, he was a Michigan guy under Steve Fisher. Was with Steve Fisher for such a long time. Fish left the tournament, left this team about 6 years ago, left it in his hands. By the way, Fish was at the game. He looked great, man.
Good to see him. Good to see Coach Fisher.
He looks great.
Good to see Coach Fisher.
And Dutch, when they talk to him, and Tracy Wolfson talks to him, and Jim Nance after the game and all of that kind of stuff, he's a cool guy. He knew they were overmatched, and they had to play their best game. And they just could not find the bottom of the basket. They could not. And it cost them because they were in this game. But UConn, start to finish, congrats to the Huskies. Big East. And guess who the number 1 basketball team is? Now you're talking, forget Kansas, forget Duke, forget Villanova, forget anyone else. It's UConn. 5 national championships, 5 for 5.
Definitely want to give Steve Fisher some credit. You know, he got this program rocking and rolling some years ago. I remember watching them when they had Paul George. I remember watching them when they had, not Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Like, he really got it rocking and rolling, passes on to Dutcher. And, you know, like you said, He knew he was overmatched, but he led the guys there. They got to a national championship. They played hard. It's just they weren't in the game as much as you think, man. It's kind of like the LSU game. Remember LSU and Iowa? Iowa got down. Like, Iowa got back to within 5. Iowa got back to within 6. But when you spend all your time fighting just to claw back, once you exert it, you get to a wall and you've hit it. You can't get any more, man. But you're absolutely right. Talking about UConn. UConn does not get mentioned with the Kentuckys. They do not get mentioned with the UCLAs. They don't get mentioned with the UNCs.
Kansas.
And they have more championships in the last 24 years. They have 5, like you said, 5-0.
Yeah.
And they're the definition of blue blood. It's not about just one guy having a run. It's about sustained success. Calhoun, 3 national championships. You look at Kevin Ollie, a national championship. Now you look at Hurley, a national championship. It's about the program extending, not necessarily one coach. So they're the definition of what it means. They're no longer the redheaded stepchild there. And I think he gets it. I don't think this is going to be something that fades anytime soon.
A couple of years ago, 2020 to be exact, Dan Hurley's on the mic after they lost, and he's like, look, you guys want to get us, you better get us now because we're coming. And guess what? They have arrived. And congrats to the Hurley family. Now, I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey. That's where Bob Hurley coached, St. Anthony's High School. That was the high school. That was the place where everybody went. You saw like a 30 for 30 on him, or it was an E60 or whatever.
E60.
And Bobby Hurley comes out of there, goes to Duke, wins 2 national championships. Now Dan Hurley, the guy that you don't really hear of. He's the Cooper Manning.
He is.
Of the Manning brothers.
He is.
Now he's not. He's got a national championship, and he coached the hell out of those kids, and it looks like they love him, and it's only going to go up from here.
I think it's definitely going to go up for him. You look at how the college landscape is. That's how we talk about a San Diego State getting to the playoffs is because or getting to the final game. Kids aren't coming to college. Like, simply put, the number 1 players aren't coming to college, or they're staying for 1 year and they're getting out of their mess, or they're going to overtime leagues, or they're going to G leagues. Like, they're not playing in college. So you're not getting the rivalries or the tournaments that you used to have out of men anymore. That's what you're seeing out of women. So, just looking at UConn, I think one of the biggest reasons why UConn isn't considered amongst the blue bloods or the Kentuckys, the Kansas, et cetera, it's not just that they're way up in stores and they didn't have success in the 70s and 60s and 80s as well. I think it's just because when you think of UConn, you think of some stars, but not like UK, not like Kansas, not like UNC. Like, we can sit here.
Rip Hamilton.
We can, you got Rip, Ben Gordon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ben was there last night.
Their arguably greatest player didn't even do anything, and it's Khalid El-Amin.
Yeah.
You got
He was there.
You got Emeka Okafor. You got Charlie Villanueva. You got, Kemba Walker.
Yeah, Kemba Walker.
Shabazz Napier.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you have at UConn. Do I need to start naming UCLA players? Do I need to start naming UNC players? So I think that's part of it. And 2, Bill Calhoun did, I think, a better job. Jim Calhoun, excuse me.
He couldn't be there last night. I think maybe he's sick or something.
I think he is sick.
Yeah, because Fish was there.
He looked sick when he was I think he was speaking on behalf, a couple years ago. Yeah. He didn't look good. But he was able to do what Tom Izzo did, but from a standpoint of still allowing guys to be stars. Go 4 years. Like, tell me this setup right now isn't predicated for UConn to continue this run. They're guys.
Oh, yeah.
4-year guys, junior. UConn has never had a problem with guys staying 4 years, staying 3 years, sustained success. So right now, the leaders, the seniors, like, if you got a team that's full of seniors, you can win. You got a team that knows what to do mentally and soundly. And I think that's what you'll see out of UConn. This might be a sustained success situation.
Hey, listen, you brought up the women's game and the men's game. Yeah, they might have had a little bit more national exposure, the women, this time. Because let's face it, these games of the unknowns, it killed the TV ratings. But still, when it comes down to it, when the television ratings do come out, they're going to be just fine. And take a look at those women's ratings from over the weekend. I mean, they broke every record. Not only broke them, but I don't know if they'll ever be touched like this again, unless these 2 schools meet again, or UConn is back in it. Man, those are some numbers, man.
Yeah, this is from ESPN. 9.9 million viewers Sunday evening, making it the largest watched women's game ever, making it the largest watched ESPN Plus app ever in terms of viewership. Most viewed the records they broke. And to put it in perspective, how many games they watched, for some CFB perspective, on 9.9 million viewers for the Women's National Championship game, that's more than this season's Sugar Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Big 12, Pac-12, and ACC title games, Notre Dame, USC, LSU, Alabama, Ohio State, Penn State, and Bama, Texas A&M, which was on primetime, CBS. They beat all those games.
That's good.
The women, and like you said, it's going to be interesting because, see, the woman that was starting to kind of push the envelope 3 years ago was Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers out of UConn. Go figure. She won Player of the Year.
First
freshman, and then she hurt herself again. So she's coming back for her 4th year this year coming up. Could we have a Caitlin showdown with Paige Beckers? Is it going to be another Angel Reese showdown with Paige? Is it going to be something different?
I hope that all of them make the Final Four at least. At least those 3 teams. And South Carolina. How great would it be those 4 teams make the Final Four?
Oh, man.
South Carolina, LSU, Iowa, and UConn.
Well, you know.
I'd be glued to that.
You know Dawn Staley will be back. Dawn Staley in South Carolina, they're not going down like they did this year and not fight back, not come back. Speaking of LSU and Iowa, did you hear Miss Jill Biden when she said it's time? What do you think?
We got the tweet.
And this is the tweet. After watching the Women's National Championship game from the stands, Jill Biden says she wants Caitlin Clark in Iowa to join victorious LSU at the White House. Maz, you know what? I'll go first. I'll go first. Now, when you sent this in and I saw it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay away from one situation and one topic and one subject. So you have a
dumb it down to this, just winners versus runners
exactly.
up.
See what I'm saying? See, that's how you do it in life. You get set up. You have an option to fall prelude. We're going to leave that over here, Maz. We're just going to talk about winners and losers.
Winners and runners up.
See, that's how
we won't even call them losers.
Winners and runners up. We'll stay away from the other topic. This is what's wrong with America today. Participation. I woke up this morning. Every morning I get up, I kind of use Family Guy to kind of start to make the wake-up process. A little wake.
That's pretty funny.
A little wake, a little bake, a little stew situation. And I'm watching, and it's an episode about participation. So this is perfect. Like, I didn't even, I couldn't have scripted it.
I saw your text today.
I'm watching participation, and finally Brian spills the beans to him because Suey think he's this big shot athlete.
He's got all these trophies.
He's got all these trophies. He's got all these, these participation points. And Brian has to burst his bubble. Who's the dog, if you don't know, flips over the participation, and on the bottom it says participation. So he starts to flip all his trophies over, and they all say participation on it. He loses his mind. He burns the shelf down, which ends up burning the house down. Now, I'm not saying going to that far. Stop trying to make us a country of participation. It does not work like that. You do not get rewarded for finishing number 2. Nobody remembers number 2. I can't tell you when the women's national type or who finished runner-up last year or the year before that or the year before that or even baseball. I forgot the Phillies finished runner-up this past World Series until I saw that they had.
I know the women's runner-up last year, UConn.
There you go. Forgot. I forgot already.
I got one staff for you before you
go
anywhere.
Participation points, Joe Biden. If you want to bring Caitlin Clark to the White House, that's fine. Make up some excuse. Come up with some event that you can invite her. That's fine. Iowa women lost the national championship. And to be honest, Miss Biden, it was not even close. So don't bring Iowa to the White House. That is for LSU. If you want to bring Caitlin, I ain't got no problem with that because she's the best basketball player I've ever seen.
Yes.
But Iowa as a whole, they lost.
Yes.
They lost. That's it.
They did. And what she said is that we didn't play. We could actually play for audio, but we didn't.
We can play audio.
I'll paraphrase it. And she basically said, it was such a great game that we should invite LSU and Iowa. I'm like, what game were you watching, Dr. Jill? It was a terrible game. It was a mismatch. But this is the scoop. It was LSU versus Caitlin Clark. Because without Caitlin Clark, Iowa doesn't even make the tournament probably. Or they don't make it this far. That's for sure. So if you want to invite Caitlin, I'm all for it. Because like Braylon said, she's a special talent.
She's legendary.
And she's not leaving. She's coming back. Give her a chance to earn her way to the White House. Because only the champions get to go to the White House. And that's where you got to draw the line. It's nice. Look, When the Lemon Drops lost to the Lucky Charms back in the day when I was coaching the Lemon Drops, okay, the Lucky Charms got the big trophies, and the Lemon Drops got a small trophy that's at second place.
And that's how it should be.
Okay, but they didn't get to go to the Blossom Heath party. Nope. Just the Lucky Charms got to go and celebrate their championship.
Hey, Maz, this year, when the Super Bowl was over, did you hear Jalen Hurts saying, I'm going to Disney World?
No, I did not.
You did not hear it?
No.
This is a problem with women's sports. They want to get feisty and chippy in the game. Let it be. It's for rivalry. Let it be. It's for us to watch and be glued into the storyline. When they lose, they don't get to go to Disneyland. They got to go home. Only the winning team goes to the White House. Maz, tell us about lobster.
I can tell you. Before I do that, we have a poll out that Fletch has put out. Guys, go on to the chat and vote. Should Iowa be allowed to go to the White House this year alongside LSU? Now, I'll tell you about Cousins Maine Lobster. With their delicious lobster, it's going to feel and taste like you are in New England, up in Maine, trying this great lobster. They've got it all. Great seafood, lobster bisque. They've got it going. They've got the clam chowder. Outstanding lobster mac and cheese, lobster grilled cheese. You could just imagine what it's like. So I want you to click on that QR code and download their app and download their schedule, because there's 2 trucks rolling around Detroit right now, and you want to know where they are. And if you order ahead, if you go in and order ahead, you can get points and save some money down the line. Cousins Maine Lobster, you're going to think you're in Maine, but you're right here in Detroit.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper,
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Welcome back to segment 2 of Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. I promise you, Ryan is in the studio. He's just over handling some business. You know what I'm saying? If there was another camera, you can see him in here working on some deals so that we can keep the lights on. Make some donuts for us. Maz, we were talking about the White House. Obviously, LSU is going to the White House. Remember the last time a team from LSU went to the White House? And remember how they were fed?
No.
You remember all that?
Was it KFC, wasn't it?
No, it was all McDonald's.
Was it?
Yes, it was all McDonald's. There was a ton of quarter pounders, double quarter pounders, nuggets, and fries all around.
You got to bring Terry in for that, because he's got his Sun Bowl story of all the McDonald's stuff laying around.
The perfect All-American meal. You know who the president was at that time?
Let me guess. Donald Trump.
It was indeed
the Trumpster.
It was indeed the Trumpster. And now, today, Trump has to turn himself in for an arraignment. What's up? What's going on in New York?
He just left. He left Trump Tower about an hour ago.
Okay.
And his entourage is taking him over to the courthouse right now, and they're going to go in. They're a little side entrance, and we're going to see what happens, I guess.
What's going on with that right now? Like, what do you have any clue?
I got to be honest. I don't follow politics, as you know. I do know what's happening here with President Trump here in New York. It is a hometown. And they want to run him up the rails here in his hometown. It's the first time a president has had to go through this. Of course, it had to be Donald Trump, right? You would think this is like live TV. Like, you would think this is the what was the show? What was my favorite show? One of my favorite shows.
Prank.
No, it was Trump's show.
Oh, The Boss.
What was it called?
Oh my
The
God.
Apprentice. The Apprentice. You would think this is part of The Apprentice. This is like, you know how many people can be tuning in to watch that thing?
Well, art often imitates life and reality, and that's what you're getting. You're getting reality TV like on a day-to-day basis. I don't know what's going on. I'm tuned out. I just happened to notice it today.
Well, We wish you good luck there, President.
Yeah, no, we definitely know. But we're talking about UConn. Going back to just the basketball side of things for a second. That's pretty special what they've done. Like 5 championships, 24 years, 3 different coaches. You look at how they've done it. Every 5 years, it seems like they win. Every 5 years, haven't heard from UConn for national championship. Man, have you heard from UConn? National championship. Last year, they got bounced in the first round.
Yeah. Here's something really
New Mexico State, I believe.
Put up the stat I gave you there, Fletch, between the women's basketball team and the men's team. Bray, your eyes, you got to squint a little bit, but read this amazing statistic between the UConn men and the UConn women's basketball team in the final.
ESPN Stats and Info, that's what this page is. UConn's men's and women's basketball teams are now a combined 16-1 in NCAA basketball championship games. Only loss came last year when the women of UConn fell in the 2022.
South Carolina. Isn't that amazing?
That's
16-1. So the men are 5-0, and the girls are 11-1.
It's like nobody can. They have all the bragging rights, and no one can. They can't talk the stuff to each other. If the women are like, "What's up? What's up with only 5 wins? Well, what's up with that one loss y'all got?"
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. 16. That's a lot of teams.
That's amazing, man.
They're the number one. They're the number one basketball program in the country. Then
I love watching the UConn women's team. I love Gino Auriemma. I love that rivalry he had with Tennessee. That was amazing, And now it's getting tougher. Competition is tougher, man. It is stepping up.
Yeah, 100%. It's just so small. It's Storrs, Connecticut. I think that's another thing they don't have going for them. It's a small town, small college town.
Did you see that place last night? It exploded last night.
Yeah, it did.
And did you notice? I wish I would have put this damn thing in the rundown. Yesterday, for the game in Houston, they're at the NRG Stadium where the Texans play.
Yep.
They closed the gates down. They would not let any more students or anybody else in because they were at capacity, they said. All of a sudden, somebody wiggles through the fence, opens a fence, and they all start jumping over and through. You got to watch this, man. It was chaotic.
We got to get the footage in.
Yeah, I got to get the footage for you before the end of the day. But it was chaotic to get into that stadium. But the kids would not be denied to get in there, and hats off to them.
So they broke in, they got in. But see, this is what happens though in public events or like when riots are incited. You got one guy, and then the rest of the people follow. Everybody's good. Then when things happen, people get mad that they got in trouble. It's like, you're not supposed to be doing that. It's kind of like the whole concert stuff at Astro World with Travis Scott. But yeah.
Last night was Jim Nance's final broadcast, so. All night I'm listening to him. I fell asleep, like I told you, for maybe half an hour, 40 minutes.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. I made sure I had the recording on so I wouldn't miss anything. Anyway, the last minute's coming, and Bill Raftery and Grant Hill are starting to say, hey, Jim, you're the best. We're really going to miss you. And Jim's trying to hold back his tears and try to get the game through. And he's like, listen, I want to enjoy the rest of this game. Don't worry about me. And as they were going to commercial, once everything was over and they were cutting the nets down, that's when he said, "Thank you, everyone, for being my friend." And his voice was cracking as he was talking there. So it was something. I'm like I said, everyone knows I'm a big announcers guy, and Jim Nance is one of the best announcers of all time. And I just want to take my hat off to him. He's not going anywhere. He'll do the Masters this weekend. And we'll talk a little Masters this week.
Can't wait.
I'm interested. I'm interested. Hey, Ryan. Ryan's back on the desk. But hats off to you, Jim Nance. Thank you for being one of the best to ever get on that mic. Brent Musburger and then you. Pretty damn good duo. And now it's up to Iron Eagle to keep it going strong.
He was damn good, though. I mean, you and Ryan talk about him all the time, so it'd be fun to watch.
Yep.
See him take it over. It's his time now, or his time is coming.
Yep.
As they say.
Right. Did you get a chance to watch Hello Friends?
I did.
Pretty cool. Huh?
Sorry, I'm late, gang. I was attending to some network business, but nonetheless,
network.
I'll tell you, it was a little. I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
With the hello friends and all that stuff.
And he said, thank you for being my friend was the way he ended.
I am a sentimental guy when it comes to that stuff. I got goosebumps thinking. There's so many in the one shining moment. I mean, so many times you've seen that video and those voices, and so many players can resonate to that. It was a beautiful night.
It was.
It was a beautiful night, and congratulations to Jim Nantz on a career well done.
And UConn for dominating a tournament like no team has dominated this tournament in my day, at least.
Have the ratings come out for that yet, by the way?
Spread. Not yet. We'll get them, but they're not going to be high. Saturday's second game between UConn and who did they blow out in the second game? Miami of Florida?
Florida Atlantic?
St. Mary's was their second game.
No, the second game was
Miami of Florida.
Miami of Florida against UConn. That was the game that
Final Four
on Saturday in the Final Four.
Okay.
That was a very low. That was one of the lowest rated Final Four games
72-59
ever. The game before it, where Florida Atlantic went to the end with San Diego State, that one got some great ratings. But the second game fell on its why.
The women's game is going to get higher rated.
It might. I don't know. It might not. It's still
you think
a
it'll
big
do more
night.
than 10 million people?
I think it will.
You do?
I do. It's still the national championship. I know you guys didn't watch it, and
It's
I don't know if most of our audience watched it.
It's not you guys, it's the country. Like you just showed the football games that were comparable to what put that up again, Flex. These are football games during the season. You can't tell me there were more people watching last night men's national championship than LSU Alabama.
I think so.
No, you can't tell me there were more people watching last night's national championship than the Big 12 championship, Pac-12 championship.
We'll see.
Everybody tuned into USC and Utah. Like, definitely USC and Utah, because you were trying to see if Caleb Williams was going to win the national championship.
There's not a chance.
I mean, Heisman.
There's not a chance. And again, it goes back to this, and I don't want to make some grandpa argument here, but these television networks who think that only a Monday night you're going to get a highly rated audience, whether it's the college football national championship on a Monday night or the college basketball national championship on a Monday night, you put a women's game on at 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and you got 10 million people. So don't give me this Monday night primetime audience stuff. I mean, I couldn't believe it. 9:24 that game started, Braylon, and it's just like I tweeted out. I said the NCAA and CBS must hate kids. I mean, they do. And then everybody was commenting, they hate me too because I got to get up for work in the morning. Interesting. I don't know.
It was late. I fell asleep watching Raw. Raw after.
Oh, the Raw after a Monday night.
Had the Raw after Mania. Didn't let you down in the opening. Brock Lesnar comes out of nowhere. So I fell asleep watching that. And then I woke up around 10 like, the national championship game started. I clicked on for a second as I catch the highlights in the morning. Turn the lights out.
Unbelievable. How you guys doing today? Sorry, didn't even say hello to you.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
We talked a little bit about the game itself last night, and then we got into Jill Biden wanting to invite both women's teams.
Can I make a comment
to the White
on
House.
that?
We kept it on the basketball side, though.
Oh, good.
Winner versus runners-up.
Right.
Winners only go to the White House, not runners-up. We didn't go anywhere past that.
Can I make a point about that?
Sure.
Did you comment on that yet?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it kind of highlights the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing. There is absolutely a racial component in there. There is absolutely a race involved. But I also think the part that is underscored the most is the gender divide. Jill Biden would never even think to invite San Diego State to the White House. Do you think San Diego State is invited to the White House?
Absolutely not.
Do you think she feels bad for the San Diego State Aztecs for losing last night's men's national championship because San Diego State had such a great season and they played so hard?
Yeah, no.
There is a male sports psychology and there is a female sports element to this in how we view it. And I think that part of it is a big part of the story.
Caitlin Clark came out just a little while ago on SportsCenter. On her quote, we can't play because it's on SportsCenter. She said, I don't think Angel should be criticized at all. She said Angel Reese received too much backlash for her celebrations during the championship game. And that is on Outside the Lines on ESPN just recently.
when we talked about it earlier, Ryan, we didn't touch the black-white component at all. We stayed in the gender component because it's 100% a real thing. You know, men have, for years, the proverbial men, when I use it that way, have viewed women a certain way as it relates to sports. Just remember women's uniforms in sports, how it's evolved from the time they first start letting them be competitive. Used to wear long dresses, super long no matter what sport. Like in basketball, they had to wear certain things. Like, they've always tried to treat women a certain way. They always want them to act a certain way. When Serena, you know, was very vocal, very loud, and very aggressive when she's playing, she's frustrated, and she's cursing, and she's jumping up and down. They didn't like that. They said women shouldn't act like that. So that is still a content of how people view women. And women, it's the empathetical side. It's oh, baby, it's going to be okay. They lost the national championship. Dang, we should bring them too. They should come. You got to start viewing men and women the same if you want to have the same. Like, their feistiness, that's just a part of rivalries. That's just a part of a back and forth. Losing, that's a part of sport as well. You lost the national championship game. You had a great season, great career so far, but y'all can't go to the White House. White House and Disney World ain't for losers. Excuse me. It's not for runners-up. You got to keep.
Runner-up is the first loser.
This is true, but you keep that same energy, man, and you'll trust me. You'll see women's sport starting to thrive more and more. But the more you dumb it down, now it's like, dang, just when I turned on basketball, just when I start liking it, now they can't do this. Now they're overly calling text. Now they're doing. Keep the sport as it is, because you see it's doing this. It's on a rocket ship.
Yeah, it is.
No doubt about it. Guys, want to get to a little football?
Let's do it.
Is that what it is? The
Let's do
perfect
it.
first round for the Detroit Lions.
And
we'll
me.
have it for you next. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
That's for me as well. The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck, Michigan. 2 ways to play this great, fun game. $12. That's all it's going to cost you. $12 unlimited open play. You could throw till your arm falls out of the socket. Or you can have a private lane reservation.
What?
10 or 12 people on a lane. Run you $120. You get it for 2 hours, so it's less than $10 per person. You're thirsty? They got you covered. Multiple full bars, over 100 beers on the menu, and a $2 mystery beer machine. For food, bring your own in or have it delivered. Get your foal on at foldingwarehouse.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Now is the best time to join Planet Fitness. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. With tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. But the best part about all this, you get it all just for $10 a month.
Only $10?
Yes, guys, only $10 a month. Now, Planet Fitness has more than 50 convenient locations around the metro Detroit area, so no matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness nearby. Join In Club today or check them out online at planetfitness.com.
We got some mocks. We've got a lot of football talk. Dan Miller coming up in about 30 minutes from now. We'll get his sense of the Lions off season, where he thinks they will go in the draft. And just the expectations for 2023, pretty incredible. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I put a season ticket deposit down for Detroit Lions season tickets this year, and tomorrow is the day where I get to pick my seats.
It's Christmas.
It is Christmas. You
Yeah.
could preview now. Okay, you could preview now. All of the 100 level and 200 level tickets are gone.
Oh.
And, you know, they will release some of them when they open it up to the public, and that's fine. But that is the demand for the Detroit Lions tickets
So
this
you're
year.
upper deck.
upper deck, way upstairs, and I think I'm going to get him. I just, be in the building. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Get it as low as you can. That's all.
Absolutely. Guys, Pro Football Focus has put out the perfect first round for the Detroit Lions. Here you have it. Pro Football Focus is saying at number 6, Anthony Richardson, and at number 18, Kalijah Kancey, the defensive tackle from Pitt. I would be more than fine with that. More than fine with that. Braylon Edwards, what say you?
Yeah, I like this. Actually, I like the whole, I want to say it's the whole draft and where, anyway, I think I like the whole draft about it from this. But just for these 2 picks, et cetera, these are good. See, Kalijah Kancey, everybody's moving him up to 6. That's a lot what the morning show is talking about. A lot of people around Detroit, too, talking about Kalijah Kancey, getting him at 6, or even moving back to 9 and trying to pick him up at 9. I like him at 18. Like, I like his explosiveness. I like how fast he is. I like how strong he is. I like his moves off the ball. But he's really undersized. And in the NFL, where guards are now fast, guards are no longer just, 320. Guys are just 295. Guards are in there 285, can really run, can really get around. So that just scares me a little. At 18, that doesn't scare me. And then, obviously, at number 6, this is a guy in which the Detroit Lions have talking about. They've seen every one of his games. They've been scouting him for a very long time. They watched him at the combine. He had an exciting combine, if you will, just in terms of his athleticism and his ability. His athleticism and ability is off the charts. The ceiling is the sky for this guy, or the sky is the limit for this guy, excuse me. So, hey, if they've done their homework and that's what they want at 6, I like it. I think it's a good first-round draft. I think you take a chance on that quarterback, you'll have a couple years to figure that situation out. And then you get a stud at 18 on defense as well. So I think it could be a good draft if that's how it plays out.
Hey, there are other reports. Don't worry, guys. We're not going to get Anthony Richardson. Relax. He ain't getting past Seattle at 5.
Maybe.
Maybe. You're right.
Maybe not. Maybe. I got a player.
You do.
I'll bring it up when you guys are ready. I got a player Seattle might go.
All right.
Do people like Kancey just because of the uniform that he wears, the college uniform that he wears?
Well, I think they compare him he's a small Aaron Donald. They went to the same school.
That's what I'm getting at.
No, but his film, he does look really good. Mm-hmm. But again, like Braylon says, they're not going to show you his bad plays. Mm-hmm. They're going to show you his good plays.
You didn't have any bad ones on your reel, Bray?
No.
You didn't have any drops on your reel or anything like that?
Not on the reel. Hell no. This is me selling myself.
I saw the 5 passes Anthony Richardson completed, right? I'm sold.
Right.
I'm sold.
Exactly.
They were like, Braylon, a lot of nice plays on here. Where are the drops? What drops?
Where are the offsides?
What? No, that's one thing I never did, though. I wasn't the guy that jumped offside.
Did you line up offsides?
Never would do that.
Just checking.
Hey, can I ask you guys real quick whether you like Anthony Richardson, Kalijah Kancey, or what Todd McShay put out? He's got a 2-round. He's got a 2-round mock draft. He's got the Lions selecting Tyree Wilson at number 6. Tyree Wilson to the Lions at number 6. At number 18, coming back and taking Bijan Robinson.
Breathe
18.
Now. Breathe.
I would,
and you're forgetting 2 more players. You're forgetting 2 more players. You just can't breathe after the first round. They still got 2 more players that they added. Jack Campbell's a linebacker. The guy's been talking about for a very long time, like him. And then Sam Laporte is a guy that's been tight end of the year in the Big Ten in the last 2 years.
No more Iowa tight ends. Thank you.
Iowa tight ends are successful, bro. Like, I mean, even T.J. Hockenson made 3 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, I know.
And Noah Fant is successful. George Kittle. I mean, not only is he, All-Pro, he's also winning matches at the WrestleMania.
You're right.
Iowa's on top right now.
Just don't pick him in the first round, right?
No, not at all. Sam Laporte in the 3rd round.
Just for the record, in McShay's mock draft, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young 1-2. Colts trading up to get Anthony Richardson from 4 to 3. They take him at Anthony Richardson at number 3. Will Anderson goes at 4. Jalen Carter at 5. Will Levis doesn't go until 14 in this mock. But again, if you asked me, and I've been on the Anthony Richardson train all off season, all year, absolutely, I understand it. But if you give me Tyree Wilson and Bijan Robinson 6 and 18, I think that improves your prospects for this year and next year a whole hell of a lot. I still do believe having a good quarterback on a rookie deal is the way to excel in the National Football League. But you give me Wilson and Bijan, that's going to be really hard to turn away from.
definitely going to be really hard to turn away from. I mean, Tyree Wilson is a guy. I watched him play. And you know another thing too, Ryan, I think I was laughing at your joke yesterday. You're talking about 7? Was that the whole season? Sometimes guys come on late, man. Like some guys don't even start playing football until senior year of high school, junior year of high school. I know it's hard for us to believe that. I mean, you look at David Ojabo. David Ojabo didn't have any sacks until going into that junior that last year at Michigan, and then he ends up almost being a first-round draft pick. So sometimes it does happen like that, but you're talking about a guy who play inside, outside, guy that's exceptional, guy has long arms, pass pro, fast, extracting off the ball. It's a damn good pickup for this offensive line, kind of putting a stud guy on that side for sure. And what James Houston, let's say he's out there a lot. Well, now you can just move Tyree Wilson inside too, because he plays inside and outside. But then also Bijan at 18, I mean, that's electric. Well, we know he's the best running back in the draft. We know he's been one of the best running backs the last 2 years, if not the best. He's big, he's powerful, he's fast, he runs away from people, and he catches the ball out of the backfield too. He does everything that both your backs now do by himself in David Montgomery and DeAndre Swift. So if you can get Bijan at 18 and then Tyree at 6, you chose to pull the trigger on that, it's a damn good draft.
I'll just tell you, just every single guy has got his own people that he talks to. His own mock drafts. I get that these are all mostly guesses, but just yesterday we're hearing that Will Levis is not going to go past the Colts, right? And now they got Levis going to 14. Who do they have Levis falling to?
Tampa
14?
Bay trade. Let's see. They've got Tampa Bay trading up to get him
at 14.
Tampa Bay trading up with New England to get him.
New England, we got another story on them. I'm going to tell you
next.
about that in a minute. But they got Mazi Smith going first pick in the second round to the Steelers, who got the Bears pick somehow.
That sounds good. I mean, Pittsburgh Steelers is definitely one of those franchises that like Michigan players. I mean, where do I start? We're naming Michigan players. Devin Bush. You look at Wormley is there right now. Foote is there. Lamar Woodley was there. So they love Ryan Mundy plays safety there. So they love Michigan players. I mean, Mazi Smith definitely moved up the draft. I mean, moved up his draft stock. And you saw how he ended last year. His stock would be even higher if he played the whole season. So, man, this would be a good pick in that second round. But what if the Lions did something crazy like move up when we got Will Anderson?
Well, I think, and I said this was my hot take alert, I think they do move up from 18 to get Bijan Robinson.
I mean, like, I'm talking about go to Arizona, get Arizona's pick.
Yeah, I think the general manager just values picks too much. In picks over players right now where they are currently constructed. Now, next year, that might not be the case. Maybe you are one player away or two players away from truly competing for a Super Bowl championship, and you do everything to get that one player that you think changes the whole complexion of this thing. But I'm not sure if Brad Holmes thinks they're there just yet.
Yeah, but here's my thing as it relates to that. Let's say you value Will Anderson like that. I mean, let's be completely honest. Will Anderson 2 years ago was the best player in college football. Then at the end of that season, you said he'd be the number one draft pick in this draft. Well, now because of the demand on quarterbacks, he slid down from 1 to 2, and now 2 to 3, and now 3 to 4, now 4 to 5. We'll say Cardinals don't need a quarterback, and they're still the same level.
They do.
And they can't pay.
They
can't
afford
pay
one.
one. Yeah, they're under the hook for $188 million. So what if they say, you know what? I mean, the talent is there. What if we took 2 second rounds from Detroit, second round this year and the second round next year, or blah blah blah, and we move back to 6, and we still can get who we want at 6 pretty much. And now Detroit goes up there and draft Will Anderson Jr.
I don't hate it. I love it. I think that would be a home run.
To move up to 3 is going to cost you a lot.
And probably a first rounder. Yeah. It's probably going to cost you a first rounder. That's why I say, last year somebody pointed out they traded up to get J-Mo, yes, but they didn't trade a first round pick.
But the same thing, it may not cost you a first rounder. You're talking about the Arizona Cardinals who are on the hook for $188 million. They're not drafting the quarterback. The first 4 quarterbacks first 4 spots right now expected to be quarterback slots outside of them. And then you have Jalen Carter, Will Anderson Jr. If they don't plan on drafting Will Anderson Jr., I can't see you having to necessarily give up a first rounder to get that pick and move them back to 6, especially with nowadays future picks are so a thing on the table. Hey, I'll sweeten the pot. I'll give you a second rounder in 2025. I'm just saying with the way they do business now, you might be able to get away with that 48th pick this year and a second round pick next year.
Isn't this so fun, by the way? I mean, honestly, I don't care. I do care. I don't want to say don't care. I just don't understand how you could be a football fan and hate this stuff. Like how you can not enjoy mock drafts, how you can not enjoy
rumors
or talking about players or talking about ways to improve. Like, what are you doing listening to sports radio or us here digitally if you don't enjoy this stuff? Because we all grow up wanting and thinking we know the ways to improve our own teams and to improve teams all around the league. That's part of being a sports fan. I just think this is so fun. When I heard McShay had a mock today,
I know,
a 2-round
jumped up and down.
I jumped on it like it was no tomorrow. And again, the likelihood of any of these picks actually being the pick, not very accurate probably, but again, you get an idea. I think it's pretty fun stuff. You mentioned the quarterback of the New England Patriots. News there regarding that. Also, Troy Weaver with a letter to Pistons fans. A lot to get to. We'll do it next, but first a message from Fairway Packing Company. You looking for a way to elevate your dinner? How about Fairway Packing Company? Family owned and operated since 1956. You can try their Burrata Blend Burgers, the award-winning Chop House Steaks, or impress your friends with dry-aged Wagyu Tomahawk Steaks. See why the top chefs in the country choose Fairway. You can visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods or order online. They ship anywhere. Visit fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir-fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, welcome back. WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got JB back in the audio booth. Fletch here, making everything look nice and crisp and everything like that.
Very
welcome
crispy.
in. However you are watching Woodward Sports Network, we certainly appreciate it. WoodwardSports.com, YouTube, Fox2Detroit.com, and the other 20 ways you can get us.
How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing great today. I'm having a good day today.
Yeah, good.
I'm
Me
having
too.
a great day today. Woke up on the right side of the bed today.
That's a good thing.
But I generally try to wake up on the right side of the bed each and every day because I sleep on the right side of the bed.
Ah, you do.
As opposed to the left side of the bed.
So if you're facing the bed, you're on the right side. Me too.
If you're facing the bed, no.
No, if you're at the foot of the bed.
Yes.
If you're looking straight up at the bed, are you on the right or the left?
If you're looking at the bed with a head...
Yeah, the headboard straight ahead.
I'm on the left.
Oh, I'm on the right. I'm on the right.
So dumb.
Just wanted to let you know.
So dumb.
My wife made me switch one year because of the vent. And the window is closer to her. She likes the window open.
The window open?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
This woman, this.
That's how you do it, man.
I don't know how you sleep with the window open. I need air condition. I need a fan.
I know. I'm talking in the winter, bro.
Oh.
I'm talking in the winter.
Oh, she sleeps with the window open in the winter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the best.
That is out
That's the
cold.
best.
So
I love that.
she stays closer to the window than me, who was the wuss and likes to get under the blankets.
And I'm never in a room in my house that's over.
No kidding. Braylon puts the air conditioner on here. If it's 20 out, Braylon puts the air conditioner
Dude,
on.
I'm hot right now.
I like to be cool. You see, I got my own little personal fan. The only thing about this one, like the dust in that.
Oh yeah, you gotta get it clean.
That's why I turned it off.
Yeah, we gotta get it clean.
This is true. That's tough around here.
Guys, Mac Jones, New England Patriots. Is he on his way out? Bill Belichick don't like him very much.
I don't think he likes Bill.
According to Mike Florio, the Patriots have shopped quarterback Mac Jones to multiple teams in the 2023 offseason. Mac Jones, let me tell you something, kid. Get out of there as fast as you possibly can.
And come to Detroit.
Go anywhere. Get out of there as fast as you possibly can. This dude, Bill Belichick, is toying with your career. He is flat out playing with your career, giving you Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as co-offensive coordinators in your second year. This is how players get ruined. There are players in the NFL who make it and players in the NFL who don't make it. And I guarantee you, most of the players who don't make it, more than half of it is not on them. More than half of it is not on them.
You're probably right. They get ruined, and a lot of them can't rebound. Look at Joey Harrington, for instance.
You know, whether you go to a terrible organization with terrible people, you've got 4 different offensive coordinators in 4 different years. How are you supposed to get any sort of traction in your career and not be totally mind-bleeped moving forward? And I don't know if that number is true or not. I will ask Braylon Edwards. But again, I think more than half of the players who don't make it in the NFL, it's on the organization and the coaches and the people they hire.
Yeah, that's true because unlike free agency and when you get drafted, you don't control what team you go to. You don't control the team that picks you up. You don't control how bad their coaches are or how bad their chemistry, their identity is or what they have going on. So that actually is a real deal statement. I mean, you look at Cleveland when I got drafted, my God. But this is interesting on both sides because I can see both aspects. One aspect, from Bill Belichick, look, people are starting to see that, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting bad. Or people are starting to look at my moves. People aren't giving me as much leeway anymore. I got my own owner even coming out and saying stuff like, look, he tried some BS last year that didn't work. I need the playoff win this year. I need to be in the playoff. So he's seeing that side of things. And maybe he's like, look, you talk about all the time, don't fall in love with a draft pick. Don't fall in love with a player. Like, don't double down if you see nonsense. You got Mac Jones, and Mac Jones just ain't it. Like, and it's okay. You drafted Mac Jones. Tom Brady's gone. Mac Jones coming off a national championship. Like, all the quarterbacks are gone by the time the Patriots pick. So I get it. You get Mac Jones, and he did go to a playoff his first game. But Mac Jones ain't it. And people don't really fully know that now. So if you shop him around to the Raiders, who have a top 10 pick, who have Josh McDaniels, who are trying to turn that into Patriots South, you can get picks, you can get players. Like, this is how you get better faster if you're the New England Patriots that have been tearing this thing down for the last 4 or 5 years. But on the other side with Mac Jones, yeah, just like you said, get out of there. You only have a quick window, and right now people can say, well, Belichick didn't give you any receivers. Belichick didn't know what he was doing. Belichick didn't give you the coordinators that you're supposed to have. Right now, he can get an excuse, get somewhere, and get a real shot. But you keep toying around with him. He keeps staying in the Patriots. Less and less he's worth, and less the best shots that he'll get.
I disagree with you, Bray, as far as the talent goes. I think Mac Jones is going to be a fine quarterback. I truly believe that. Last year, Bailey Zappi was picked. They put him in a game. He beats the Lions. Then they were going to think about putting him in again and putting him in again. And before you know it, you had a quarterback controversy. And then he started to pout a little bit. And I think he reached out to some people to see what can happen, what can they do with this offense. He complained about the son of a gun that was running the offense. And we all know it was Matt Patricia, who has no business running anything in a football team, let alone an offense. So the Patriots might feel comfortable with Bailey Zappi. If I'm the Lions, I'm tapping in to see if I can get that kid here. Then you don't have to hear me say draft Anthony Richardson or anyone like that. You'll have a third-year rookie, a quarterback on a rookie deal. You'll have 3 more years with him. He sits behind Goff for 2 seasons, and then you let him go.
He sits behind Goff for 2 seasons and becomes what? The guy that needed all the talent in the world to be successful in college. The guy that needed a great defense.
You don't know that.
I do know that. He had all the talent in the world at Alabama, and he won a national championship. He had a great defense his first year with the Patriots, and he did nothing but got to the playoffs and then got blown out. And he had a really good defense that year. Mac Jones for what? What about Mac Jones is going to go? No,
I think he's going to be good.
Okay, we ain't trying to be pretty good.
I think he's going to be very good.
He's not going to be very good. Mac Jones looks horrible. And I know Bill Belichick didn't do him any favors with the offensive coordinator, 100%. I know Bill Belichick hasn't done him any favors in terms of the receivers that he's provided for him. But you know what you know. Mac Jones ain't going to come here and take nobody to the Super Bowl. Hell no. No, don't bring Mac Jones in. Sit behind Jared Goff. He's Jared Goff right now.
I disagree with you. That's okay. You have your opinion. I have mine. We all have them. It's like doorknobs. We all got them.
And I have stats to prove them right. So.
Look at your stats.
It is stats. What quarterback?
You don't know that Mac Jones is not going to be a good quarterback. That's impossible.
Every non-mobile quarterback Alabama has ever had has done nothing in the NFL. He looks just like A.J. McCarron. He looks just like Greg McElroy. He's going to be the same thing.
Those guys never even made the freaking playoffs like he did.
Because
he led a team to the playoffs.
Because they weren't playing for the Patriots, who had a damn good defense. The Patriots had the number 2 rated defense 2 years ago.
Hey, I've seen this guy play a lot of good games.
No,
a lot of good
where?
games.
At Alabama? No, you
No,
saw
here
him.
in New England.
Who? Where? A lot of good games?
Yeah, I'm not going to pick him out now.
Because you haven't seen a lot of good
They're
games.
not my home team.
Because you haven't seen a lot of good games. You saw them when they went on that run 8 games in a row.
I think he's a smart kid, and I think he's got a good arm.
Guess what? Smart kids and good arms don't always win. In fact, most of they don't.
I just don't know why you would get Mac Jones to be if he's going to sit for 2 years, then you pick up his 5th-year option, and then you got to pay him what you got to pay Jared Goff anyway.
Because we want every quarterback that we see released to come here.
Huh?
He's not going to make $50 million.
40?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I
just think I see something in Mac Jones that Braylon does not.
I think he has the
potential. You
potential
always see something in everybody. Like I get it. You're a nice guy. It's cool. Mac Jones, blah blah blah. He's not going to be a quarterback that you need to bring in.
I think he has the potential to be a good quarterback. I think New England's just about to go down the drain, and I think Bill Belichick is going to get fired.
I read something. He might finish his career somewhere else.
He might. I don't think he wants to quit coaching, but he's got to get up out of here. I don't think they make the playoffs this year in that really tough AFC, and I don't know if Robert Kraft is having it. And I don't think it was such a good fit last year with the offensive coordinator. And when you're toying with people's careers like that, and yes, I will say, I think you're toying with somebody's career when you bring in a defensive coordinator, a defensive-minded guy to be your offensive coordinator. Now, whether Bill Belichick is unhappy with Mac Jones because he sought some outside help, outside quarterback advice on how to get better, yeah, I would too. It's my career. And the guys that you're giving me to coach are not the guys that are going to help me get better and excel in the NFL. So it is worth looking into. Look.
Hey, the Raiders probably will be a perfect spot for him.
And I think that would actually be a pretty good thing. All this stuff, because of all these different quarterback movement, it does move me off me being dead set on picking a quarterback in the first round. I do think, and again, it goes back to what Adam Schefter said on whatever show he mentioned it on. Get Up, whatever show it was. If you had the greatest single advantage you can have in the NFL is if you have a good quarterback on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
So I think that is why I'm almost forcing myself into looking at Anthony Richardson or Will Levis or somebody like that to determine who you think gives you the best chance to stay good longer.
Right.
Who can be good? Is this a 2-year thing? Is this a 2-year window that the Lions can be good? Because, again, once you pay Jared Goff $45 million, you're not going to be able to pay everybody. So it's just a way of how to go about building a team. But, again, because these quarterbacks are up for grabs every single year, there's so much movement. Maybe you don't have to draft your quarterback. Maybe there is potential to get somebody next year or the year after that.
Or this year, not in the first round.
Yeah, just the law of averages. Show me the quarterback that's any good, that wins. Again, people tell me, pick a quarterback in the 4th round, 5th round, 6th round. Yeah, how many times did Jalen Hurts come around?
I don't know.
I don't know. Dak Prescott.
Maybe Hendon Hooker's Jalen Hurts.
Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins are both 4th-round guys.
Yeah.
Have they ever won an NFC championship?
They're still good quality quarterbacks.
They're very good quality quarterbacks.
Making a lot of
again,
they've never been to an NFC championship. Start there.
Well, Cousins was, but he was on the bench. He was hurt.
Very good. Guys, we'll take a break. Come right back. How have the Lions fared this offseason? We'll check in with the voice of the Detroit Lions, Dan Miller. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Les Stanford. Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 55 years. Les Stanford, Buick, GMC. Same great service that customers have come to know. Go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, standing strong on Michigan Avenue. Again, for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new road.
Find them.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
The uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, give Alta Rental a call today. 1-844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, WoodwardSports.com, Fox2Detroit.com, and we will check in with our guy, voice of the Detroit Lions, Fox 2 Sports Director, kind enough to join us here on what's today, Tuesday? We used to do Tuesdays with Dan.
That's right.
Look at that. Every Tuesday during football season at this hour, we would check in with our good friend Dan Miller. And coincidentally enough, the big man is here right now. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
What do you say, guys? What's happening?
What's going on, Dan?
Not a whole lot, man. You know, we sit here, we talk about Lions every single day. And and we go through these mock drafts. We go through this offseason. Man. You know what? It's so fun. It is so fun for us, I think, to talk about a football team that has high hopes. How would you, Dan, as you sit back and watch this offseason unfold, watch free agency unfold, how would you characterize what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have done with this team through free agency?
I think they had a vision of how they wanted to attack this thing. I think they wanted to be fiscally, not go out there and just throw huge dollars at guys. I think they clearly had guys in their sights, like Cam Sutton right off the bat, went in there, got him, and felt like that was a big get. Mosley, bit of a calculated risk coming off an ACL, was somebody that I think they looked at as well and think if he's healthy, he can help. I think CJ was a little bit of I don't want to say a Hail Mary, but I don't necessarily know. Brad Holmes said he didn't know if it was going to work out. He wasn't in their budget at the beginning when it looked like he would get a multi-year deal for big dollars, but he stuck to it. And then when the market kind of left, CJ behind, they were able to get him on a one-year contract. So I think they had an idea, Ryan, that they were going to be more aggressive this year than they have been in past years in terms of spending money and going outside the organization. But at the same time, I think they did some important things in re-signing Kaminsky and re-signing Bugs, re-signing Anzalone and bringing back some of their own guys that they felt like were important pieces that you can't just keep turning things over. There's got to be some continuity as well.
So many people looked at that defensive backfield and said, the Lions have to get help there. They seem to target that area of their defense. But again, you mentioned Buggs and Kaminsky. I think those two might not have gotten the Lions on SportsCenter, but those two are very important signings. What do you think about those guys? And do you see a big need on this team right now? Is there a glaring hole anywhere on this football team where a couple of weeks there might have been? Do you see one now?
Well, I think as far as Buggs and Kaminsky goes, look, you need numbers up front. And you couldn't just let guys like that were a part of your success last year walk away because you'd have to replace them. And then you're just going out and looking for somebody that you're not sure what you're going to get from in your system and bring them in. They know what they're going to get from these guys. And look, I'm excited about Kaminsky. Now, I had an opportunity to talk to him a couple times last year, and he just felt like for the first time in his career, he was being used correctly. Remember, everything he did last year, he did with a club on his hand. So it'll be nice to see him play without that. And Buggs is a leader on this team. He's a voice in that locker room on this team. And I think they wanted to make sure that they got him back because he's important to their culture. So I think there's importance on the field and off when it comes to those guys. Look, glaring need, I still think there's needs. I still think backup quarterback is a big question. If you think of yourself as a division winner, playoff contender, NFC contender, you better be ready in case Jared Goff can't play. And right now, I don't think they are. So I think that's still something that needs to be addressed. I think the offensive line, with Big V now having a chance to come back, apparently, I think with Glasgow coming back, I think the offensive line feels like it's in pretty good shape. I still think they could draft there for the future, knowing that Jonah's going to be a free agent after this season. But I don't see glaring needs. Here's the thing that I think they did coming out of free agency. I think they can look up at the wall right now and see their depth chart and say, we can play a game tomorrow. We know that we're good enough at each position to go play a game tomorrow. Doesn't mean you're finished, but it also doesn't mean that there's anything that you go into the draft with desperation, having to fill a hole, that you have to force something. I think they can follow their board, add talent, and I think they've given themselves some option at different places they can go. I still think interior pass pressure from defensive tackle would be something nice to add. But for the most part, I think the work that they've done has put them in a good position.
Dan, it's Maz. Thanks for joining us. Let's get to the draft. Let's pick 6 and picks 18. We've seen many mock drafts. Todd McShay came out with his today. Tyree Wilson is picking up steam. You hear everything, 4 quarterbacks in the top 4 picks. What do you, Dan Miller, think they're doing at 6 and at 18? Are they picking? Are they trading?
I think they'd be open to either. I think it depends. Look, so much at 6 depends on who goes in the top 5. Are 4 quarterbacks going to go? If 4 quarterbacks go, that leaves either Will Anderson, Carter, or Wilson on the board for them to possibly take, or offensive line or cornerback, as we've seen in so many of these drafts. Look, I don't know. I think part of what I talked about a moment ago, the work that they've done in free agency, has put them in the position where you're seeing mock drafts with cornerbacks, mock drafts with offensive linemen, mock drafts with defensive linemen, because there's so many different directions they could go and no place that they would necessarily be forced to go because of what their current depth chart looks like. I don't know what their research says on Carter. I don't know how they feel about him. That's a question that other teams are going to have to answer, and I think it's a big part of that process as you get to number 6 is, will he be taken or will he still be sitting there? There's clearly red flags, but we don't have access to the conversations that they're having that would either say, you know what, those red flags mean stop, or we feel better about talking to him, talking to people that know him, and we'd be comfortable with drafting him. I think those are some of the questions that have to be answered. Guys, it feels like defense, but I'm not going to be shocked if an offensive lineman goes there, because it is what this team is kind of built around at this point. And I do have some concerns about Jonah Jackson becoming a free agent and the ability to pay, the guys they have on that offensive line two of whom are already getting paid, and one of whom in Panay who's going to get paid here soon.
Talking to Dan Miller, voice of the Lions, and of course Fox 2 sports director. Dan, you just talked about the offensive line and the identity of the Detroit Lions, and that is why I look at this player in Bijan Robinson, and if he is there at 18, how do you pass on him? And is he even a player that maybe you would identify and trade up to get? Would they take a player like that? I love that kid.
Yes to all of it, because I think they've given themselves the ability with the extra assets that they have in the draft to trade up if they want to trade up. Maybe not just for him, but for somebody else. But look, DeAndre Swift has not proven to be dependable, and that's a problem. And he's going into the last year of his contract. And there are people that feel like this is the best running back coming out in several years. And he's a game-breaking type of back that I think is somebody that they would definitely look at. And I don't know how they rate him against a Banks from Maryland or one of these other cornerbacks that might be sitting there at 18. Because the other thing that I would kind of throw into the mix here, guys, is remember, we can talk about all the work that they've done in their secondary, but they have one cornerback who's not going to be on a one-year deal going into this season. And that's assuming they don't pick up the fifth-year option on Okudah, which I think most people figure that they won't. And that's Cam Sutton. So if Okudah has a great year, or Mosley has a great year, or Gardner Johnson has a great year, to re-sign them is going to cost $12 to $16 million. To draft a cornerback, if you see one of these guys at 6 or 18 that you think is a starting player in this league and a cornerstone-type defensive player, is going to be much cheaper. So those are things that I think you have to take into consideration as well. Ryan, I'm not going to fall over and be shocked if they draft a running back. And I know there's some people out there that say, oh, my gosh, you can't draft a running back in the first round. If this player is who people believe it is, this is a game-changing type of player that I think somebody will grab somewhere in that first round. And it wouldn't shock me if it is them based on some of the work that they've done at this point that would allow them to make that move.
Dan, what's going on? Braylon here. Haven't asked a question because I've been tired of asking the same question. I didn't want to ask you another 6 or 8. I didn't want to ask you about Lamar Jackson. So I said, let me think long and hard.
Good night, everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Little sports spoiler.
Welcome to the world of
Mox. We're going home early today, Braylon.
Hey, that's a good thing. I can go take care of this hay fever. But I want to ask you a question. Obviously, we're going to lose Ben Johnson next year, and then at some point we will lose Aaron Glenn. I mean, that's the nature of having great coordinators. That's the nature of the beast. Dan Campbell's a guy that seems like he recruits from within. Who's on your radar, OC? Who's on your radar, DC, for next year or after next season?
I think that, number one, it says something about this organization that we haven't said in a while, is that their coaches are desirable. I mean, we haven't had people really interviewing a lot of Lions assistants. Terrell Austin certainly got some, but we haven't had people that were interviewing Lions assistants over the years. So I think that certainly that puts them in a place that they haven't been before. And I would just say this, in terms of who's on the radar, there's a lot of faith in Dan Campbell based on the staff that he's put together.
Yeah.
And what he's been able to do in terms of hiring coaches. From day one, people thought that the strength of Dan Campbell was the staff that he assembled, and I think that's been borne out. He may be called upon now to come in and change that and have to shake that up and maybe lose one coordinator, maybe lose two coordinators. But I think he's confident. Why did the tight end coach go right out of my head? Who's now the passing game head coach?
Steve Hyden.
No, the one who's passing game coordinator now, and it went right out of my head.
Either way.
Yeah, the passing game coordinator. Engstrom. Thank you, Jim.
There you go.
Thanks,
Hammer.
Hammer.
Engstrom is a guy that I think
hear
would
in the
be.
background.
Yes, thank you, Hammer. Johnny on the spot over there. I think that would be certainly the guy that appears to be next in line. He's kind of taken the same trajectory that we saw from Ben Johnson, tight end, passing game, and might be there. And I think he's going to provide a huge support system for Ben Johnson this year, as Ben Johnson has done in the past as well. So I think that's the guy who appears to be next in line, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Hey, Dan, last question for you, and I'm not sure how to quantify it, but you've been voice of the Lions for a number of years. You watch NFL Network, ESPN, Fox Sports, whatever you watch. The talk of the town is the Detroit Lions, or the talk of the league. Everybody talking about how they're going to take that next step this year, potentially be the division favorites, compete for a championship. I told a story earlier. I placed a deposit for season tickets for the first time in my life yesterday. I was able to preview the seats that I'm going to get.
First time in your life that you paid for something or paid for season tickets?
Both. But I went to preview because tomorrow is the date that I could pick my seats. I previewed the seats that I have available to purchase from. All the seats on the 100 level bought up. All the seats on the 200 level bought up. There are just upstairs in the 300 sections. This town is crazy for the Detroit Lions. Is there any chance that
Don't even say it.
Well, we had Dre Bly on last week, and you're talking about you could read your own press clippings. You got to stay hungry. How does is that Dan Campbell's biggest job, to keep these guys focused every single day, every single week, and looking what's in front of them? Because you could get intoxicated with, hey, we're the big bad Detroit Lions, couldn't you?
Well, I would defer to Braylon a little bit on that because he's lived that life. But I would say this, that Dan Campbell has done a great job of setting the tone for this football team. And what I would also say is I would hope, and this is a cliche, but it's the absolute truth, that you respect the process because you're not getting anything. And that starts with the first OTA they have, the first offseason practice they have, the first offseason lift they have. You need to put in all the work that's going to put you in a position that next September you're ready to win. Look, this team started 1-6. I hope they remember what that felt like. And I hope they remember what that felt like compared to finishing 8-2. And the things that they had to do, not turn the ball over, not commit silly turnovers, the things that it took to win. You've gotten a taste of both now. Now it's up to you to stretch that thing out over 17 games, not dig a hole for yourself and win. The biggest thing that I say to people is, man, yes, it feels great. I understand that you think they're going to win the division and you think that they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl and they could contend in the NFC. But you have to worry about practice 1, practice 2, all the things that will get you to that point. And I know it sounds cliche or boring or taking the small view instead of the wide world view, but you have to do it that way. Nothing slides you through to January. You got to start in September and really start next month or later this month when they get back in there. And that's what keeps coming back to me is it all feels great. But, man, it's so easy for it to slip away if you don't handle your business.
Yeah, Dan, and I don't have a question, man. Just more so just piggybacking off what you said. And the good thing about that is where does Cam Sutton come from? He comes from Pittsburgh. You know the emphasis on the defense every year. You know what Mike Tomlin expects out of them. Where does C.J. Gardner-Johnson come from? They were just in the Super Bowl. And where does where does Mosley come from? They come from 49ers, where every year the NFC Championship is the last resort. So they're coming in on the same energy as our 8-10 Detroit Lions. 8-2 Detroit Lions.
I love too, just to jump on that point. These are guys that have an attitude. These are smart leader type guys, have an edge to them, a nastiness to them. I think that was something that attracted these guys to this staff, and I think that certainly that's part of the reason they were brought in here. They preach the right way, say the right things, and I think they're gonna. And that's Bugs too. You listened before any game last year. Bugs is one of the guys setting the tone for this football team, and that's one of the reasons that he's back here.
Dan 100. Miller, voice of the Lions, of course. Catch him. I'm sure they've got draft coverage coming up later this month. Also, Dan and Nate Robertson, Thursday.
Yes.
Tigers pregame, Tigers postgame. Tigers on Fox 2. Jennifer Hammond will be on the field. Woody Woodruff.
Ermanni will be on the field.
I'll be on there. Hey, baby.
Yeah. We'll jump in at 10 a.m. and Nate will be in town. We love having him with us, and we'll take you right up to 1 o'clock first pitch. You'll see the game on Fox 2. So we got you covered all day on opening day. Always easily one of the biggest days in the city of Detroit all year long.
Make sure you bring the gum with you, Dan.
I got much better at it last year. First year I was an embarrassment.
All right, Dan.
Joked.
Thanks, bud. Give our best to Hammer
see you
and
guys.
Tanner
Always
and
good to see
whoever
you,
else is in. Maybe Matt Trump is in there today. We don't know.
You got it. I got Holloway over here. I got Canner, and I got Hammer.
Hey there, Hollowell. All right, now we'll see you guys. Very good. Hey. All right, we'll continue the conversation along, but first let me get a message in from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. That was great stuff, and it is so great to talk about the Lions in a positive sense. We put the stat up yesterday from your boy Dave Hogg about how miserable Detroit sports have been. And leave it to the Lions to give us a little bit of hope.
You believe that?
I mean, the Tigers suck. The Red Wings, you can tell me they're getting better all you want, but the results are the results. The Pistons are the worst team by a mile in the NBA. We'll get to that in a minute. The Detroit sports fan literally only has the Detroit Lions to hang their hat on.
Hey, Tigers won yesterday.
Oh, they did.
They shocked the world.
My boy Matt Vierling.
They shocked the world.
Oh,
Matt
man.
Vierling and Riley Green, the two guys you crapped on yesterday, both hit home runs.
I didn't crap on him. I
know,
just said
I'm just joking. Take it easy.
You can't be a leadoff hitter and go for the series and expect to
and
win.
he was excited
going
around those bases.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was.
that probably weighed a ton
on
his shoulders. And they won in extra innings against the champs. That's a big win.
That's a huge win to get off the schneid.
I wanted to ask you about the Lions for a quick second here. Jeff Okudah.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to make the team?
You tell me.
I don't know. I don't know. I know he's on, a rookie contract still. I get all of that. But the way they treated him last year and benching him and you don't hear much about him. Then they ask Dan Campbell about him. He's kind of like, well, we'll see how he's going.
What did Dre Bly say?
Dre Bly's like, I haven't met him yet.
Well, he said that, and he also said, hey, man, look, you got to be available. You got to play through this stuff. Now, he wasn't maybe talking specifically about Jeff Okudah other than what he knows about the stat line.
He might have been talking about DeAndre Swift.
Could have been. But Okudah and DeAndre Swift are kind of similar in that respect. They're guys with all this talent.
High picks.
They're guys with all this talent, but they really can't stay on the field.
No.
Jeff Okudah looked like he was going to be a major contributor for this team last year, and then at the end of the season, he got hurt. I mean, if you pull up the depth chart for the Detroit Lions, he is currently, right now, in a starting spot because we don't know exactly what Emmanuel Mosley is going to do.
Good job, Fletch.
You've got Sutton, Mosley, Jacobs, Will Harris, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Tracy Walker, Kirby Joseph, maybe C.J. Moore. Is Jeff Okudah going to make the team? I don't know.
I don't know.
Where's this from now? Who are we crediting for this?
I'm going to have to remember the Lions Wire, I think.
Okay. I want to get the proper credit out there for this because I don't see it on the screen. And we'll circle back and get that proper credit to whoever put that graphic up there. But again, I don't know. I know this. Jeff Okudah is a great person. He's a great human being. We love Jeff Okudah. We did his charity event earlier in the season. Fantastic human being. I'm rooting for Jeff Okudah. I absolutely am. But again, this is part about being a good football team too. And what happens in good football teams, you have positions where there's competition. And sometimes your favorite guy doesn't earn that spot. Your favorite guy doesn't make that football team.
Look at my guy, Tom Kennedy.
We'll see.
I mean, like, it sucks. Being nice isn't enough. Being a good guy isn't enough. It comes between those hashes. It comes between the court. If it's basketball, it's 94 feet. If it's football field, it's 100 yards. You got to be able to play, and you got to be able to play at a high level, man. Like, he's a great kid. He's a great guy, and to watch him work back from the 2 injuries that he's had, that's a great resiliency process and journey to watch. With that being said, the Detroit Lions are now about results. The Detroit Lions are now trying to win the NFC Championship. They're trying to get to the Super Bowl. They're trying to reward this town, this fan base. So if he's not in that picture, if he can't get it together by the time, OTs are done with, the Lions pretty much know what they're going to do with him.
Hey, let me ask you about something Dan said about reading your own press clippings. And maybe it was more appropriate for you to talk about in your experience at Michigan, because you're picked to win the Big Ten championship here, the Big Ten championship there. You're kind of going through the motions. You play 1 or 2 games a year. How difficult is it to just take things one game at a time from a player's perspective?
To a certain extent, it's hard, but at the same time, it's nothing wrong with reading your press clippings to a certain extent. One of the biggest things now is like in terms of this era versus my era versus eras before, there's more trash talk. It's become more and more acceptable. It's feeling good. It's feeling yourself, as the phrase goes. So a lot of times, it's okay to be like, hey, look, man, we're out here balling. Like, Aiden can look and say, man, I had two sacks and a pick last week. That's something special. But you just gotta keep it going. The big thing in football, or at least our sport, the way it's slated, games, let's just say it's a Sunday schedule. Game happens Sunday. You have every right. If you get off, the team gets off, you get off, have a big game, make some big plays. It's okay to celebrate a Sunday night. It's okay to watch ESPN. It's okay to watch this Big U up on Monday here on Woodward Sports Network. It's okay to go out and have a nice dinner with the team and the family. But once you come in Wednesday, it's time to work. Once you get to the off season, once you get to Tuesday, the off day, are you going in and getting some treatment? Are you going in and get a little early film study on the Chicago Bears? And then Wednesday, are you ready to bring it again? So you have a little window to enjoy success, a little window to enjoy a win. But when you come in on Wednesday, it don't matter what you did last week.
All right, guys. Troy Weaver has written a letter to Pistons fans. We'll read that to you, get your reaction next. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
All right, Chili Peppers Tanning. Look at this day out there. The sun did come out for about a minute and a half, a little bit earlier before the show. But you're not going to get a suntan or any vitamin D hanging out in this weather in Detroit. So get on down to your local Chili Peppers Tanning. And I say local because there's 27 locations throughout the Metro Detroit area. 2 right here on Woodward Avenue. More on the way. And if you join the Pepper Club, they're going to beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning. Plus, you get the cleanest salons in the D and the best trained tanning professionals. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, they are your vitamin D headquarters. ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, welcome back. WoodwardSports.com on a Tuesday. Hopefully your day is going great. Troy Weaver's not so much.
Oh, man.
He's trying.
Look, I appreciate it.
Whenever you see a coach or GM pen a letter to the fans, it is not going good for you.
I thought he was literally. I was afraid to open this letter. I thought it was his resignation.
I do appreciate the gesture,
right?
Because I will say this: as a fan, before I read it, as a fan, the one thing I want is I want it to look to me like it hurts you as much as it hurts me. And I know it does generally, but you want to see it. You want to see that the organization in which you spend your money on, you spend your time on, you cheer for, you get so mad at, you love, that they care as much as you do.
You know what's smart about this is the timing of it. If you present this letter, Ryan, in January, if you present it in December, there's still a lot of season left. There's a lot of chance for you to say something amazing, and then you go right back to what you're doing. By doing it right now, where there's only 2 games left in the season, you got a whole off season left, you got a chance at getting Victor Wembanyama, and you got a chance for Kay Cunningham to come back and be something special. This is called buying time, but now this gives you a smooth off season where you don't have fans clamoring for your head from now until August. This gives you a smooth transition where people are waiting to see what you do next October.
So here's the letter from Troy Weaver. I'm going to read it to you, especially those of you who are on audio only. I wrote it today. I wrote it yesterday, I'm sorry. When I made the decision to join the Detroit Pistons franchise in June of 2020, it was with great appreciation and understanding for what this organization means to the city, its fans, and all of those who bleed red, white, and blue. I know the history, I know the tradition, and I know the urgency to which our fans want to win and see us move back up the ladder of the NBA's hierarchy. Our focus is aligned with yours, and from the top down, we are committed to delivering on this restoration process for you. Rebuilding a team does not always follow a linear path, and we experienced that this year with the injury of Cade Cunningham that forced him to miss a majority of the season. While that injury impacted the continuity of our team, it also presented an opportunity for growth from others. Overall, our players have overwhelmingly embraced the core principle of going to work and competing every night. We are in an excellent spot to upgrade our roster this offseason. We've positioned ourselves for another high draft choice in this year's draft. We have a favorable salary cap position and will continue to talk with teams and evaluate trade opportunities as they present themselves. Make no mistake, we are all disappointed with our record this season, but are confident that we can continue to be on the right path to success. We appreciate your patience, trust, and loyal support as we continue this journey. You deserve the opportunity to celebrate this team once again as a fixture among the NBA's best, a bedrock of this city and culture. We are partners with you in building success, building greatness together. That is from Troy Weaver. Troy Weaver has 1 season to do this.
That's it.
1.
You really believe that?
To me, yes. Look, or I really question the direction of the franchise. Because you're talking to me 1, 2, 3. Next year will be 4 seasons that you would be out of the playoffs. I'm just talking about in Troy Weaver's years.
Yeah.
You can't go 4 years and not make the playoffs, I think, in your time. In the NBA, everybody makes the playoffs. You've got 20 wins, 23 wins, 16 wins. You need 35 wins next year. If that doesn't at least get you in the playoffs, at least I see some progress. But I absolutely need to see 35 wins from the Detroit Pistons next year, whether they get Victor Wembanyama or not, because at some point, professional sports is about wins and losses. Wins and losses. And if you've got twice as many losses or 3 times as many losses as you do wins, it's just not working.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only way I say he saves it is I disagree with you on if Victor Wembanyama gets drafted here and they lose and they don't win 35 games, I still don't think he's going to get dropped. Give him another year. You got Victor Wembanyama, Cade Cunningham will be back. figure it out. I think give him another year. But other than that, you're right. Especially if they don't get Victor Wembanyama. You got to win some games. Like, it's at the end of the day, it comes down to results. This is a business where teams get better quick. Whether it's basketball, whether it's NBA, whether it's baseball, NHL, a little slower, but teams get good quick. And we can't keep looking at 20 wins. Like, did you ever crack 25 when you were listing their wins for the season?
No.
Like
20,
that's
23 wins is his
24,
max.
16? Like, that's terrible. It's called space. It's terrible. But this was well written. This is well written, though. I highlighted the red, white, and blue. Good. He brought the Patriots in with that one.
Let me read.
He said he missed. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I apologize. I jumped on you. Since 2008, 2009, okay? 2008, 2009, 39, 27, 30, 25, 29, 29, 32, 44, 37, 39, 41, 20, 20, 23, 16.
Now you see why people laugh when you go out of town and you bring up Detroit for any of the 4 major sports. It's because of what you just read.
Since 2008-2009, the Detroit Pistons have had 2 seasons where they won more than 40 games. A 41 spot and a 44 spot.
That's why it almost kind of it discredits the championship. Like, it almost discredit everything that the going to work Pistons was, because it just ended so abruptly and then you never went back to it. At least some teams, when they win a championship and then don't for a while, you have some sustained success. You have some 50-point seasons, 51 seasons in there, some 48, some 50s, some 48s to get good again, go on a run, maybe win one. It was like at 08, that's it. We're done. We're done. We'll see you in 20 years. Sheesh.
It's bad. And I like what he said. We positioned ourselves for another high draft. We positioned ourselves.
I highlighted that as well. Like he did on purpose.
We won 16 games.
I think
we might win a couple more.
I think he's trying to give you the wink. Like they tanked on purpose. Like wink. We trying to get Victor Wembanyama for you.
But what's sickening here, what's the worst thing out of all of this is there's still a very good chance that they're not going to get the number 1 pick because of a stinking lottery.
Yeah,
I'm done. Honestly, I don't play the Michigan lottery. My family forces me to play when they have the $1 trillion jackpot. So my New Jersey family will say, "Let's all chip in $10 and buy a ticket." I'm like, okay. I'd rather, honestly, wipe my ass with the $10 bill than give it to the lottery. Excuse my language. But I will tell you this. I do not like lotteries. And they never work for us. Yeah, we got it once. And I wish we didn't, because I'd feel a little bit better this year had we not won the lottery for Cade Cunningham. We're going to get screwed again.
Yeah,
the Spurs are going to pick number 1.
When I watched the highlight of Victor Wembanyama this past Sunday, we showed it on Monday. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I literally got excited for all of 15 seconds, so I realized, well, it doesn't matter. We're not getting him in anyway. We're not getting him 1 overall anyway.
Right.
We're not getting the number 1 lottery pick. It always happens like that. So no hype until the first name comes off the board.
It is crazy, man. It is pretty crazy. Guys, let me tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house tells the bad guys one thing:
stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people, all add up to one thing: this number right here. 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports
Hey, Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Some favorites during this time of the year, of course, the shrimp Alfredo, the shrimp stir fry, and the fish sandwich, which is brand new to the menu. Don't forget the Friday all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet, only at your local Big Boy.
Braylon Edwards, I appreciate you fighting the good fight today, my friend. There is nobody that has been more on fire and on point than you in 2023, and I appreciate you, fighting through this today. I know I actually took an allergy pill myself this morning, first thing when I woke up.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Mine weren't bad when I left the house. So to get here, it kind of started maybe when I parked and came in. It was like the allergies kind of hit a little bit, and they've been progressively worse. So
does one work for you over another? Like, because I feel like Allegra D helps me. For some people, it's Zyrtec. For other people, it's Claritin.
Zyrtec usually works for me the best, but I didn't take the pill. I took the spray and forgot the pill.
Oh, I got to take the D. I need the D, too. I need that decongestion. Pause. But you got to, you got to go, they don't give you that in the drive-thru?
They don't.
They don't because I like to go get my prescriptions through the drive-through.
Right. You don't like getting out of your car?
No, I don't want to get out of my car.
You got to get the D.
You got to go inside CVS, and then you got to, obviously, got to hand them your license, right? Yeah. Because it's literally easier to vote than it is to get CVS.
So get the hell out of your car and go in and be a human. Interact with people. Say hi. Shake hands.
I don't want to talk to you.
Buy a box of cereal that's on sale.
To you anymore.
Lucky Charms might be on sale for $2.50.
It's easier to buy booze than it is to buy medicine.
This is true.
Good Allegra D. It's easier to buy marijuana.
It is. That it is.
Than to buy.
You got to show your ID.
Allergy medicine.
You do have to show your ID.
You do?
Yes, you do. They do. They have to write have to make sure you're in the computer.
Okay, here's the thing for the people in the chat.
The people.
It is fill in the blank. It is easier to blank than buy allergy medicine.
Oh, man. Graduate.
Fill in the blank. And I'm talking about the D, the decongestion.
Right.
You got to go in. Then they take your license, and they say, oh, well, you bought this 12 days ago. I got 2 people in my house taking it.
Yeah, this is true.
So do I have to go home and tell my wife to come home?
Maybe.
I mean,
it's inconvenient.
Jeez.
It's very inconvenient.
My goodness gracious. It is easier to do X than buy...
You're saying it's easy to do ecstasy? Then
it is easier to do ecstasy than it is to buy allergy medicine, the decongestion.
Only problem, that come down won't feel as good.
It is easier to go through the TSA.
Now that I give you.
Then buy allergy medicine.
Unless you get TSA pre-check. That line is always long.
Yeah, I'm only talking about the decongestion, not the regular
doesn't
stuff.
do anything.
The regular stuff, I don't even know why people take it.
For what?
To be honest with you.
Baby aspirin.
Why people take allergy medicine if it's not a decongestion.
Because it's cheaper.
But again, does it do anything for you?
It's placebo.
That's all it is.
That's all I can afford.
Placebo effect.
So you paying $9.99 or you paying $24.99?
Just go to Max's.
That's not going to help him. If he's got allergies,
but
all that smoke ain't gonna help.
That's true. That's true.
We put all my business out there, man. You're talking a little too much now.
Okay, sorry.
You're a little cavalier with the information. Sorry, man. It's a little cavalier.
No one drops their pants more than me. Don't worry about it.
That's great.
You want to hear some football news?
Yeah, I do want to hear some football
news. All right,
news.
listen to this, Bray. And
Talk to
Ryan.
me.
Here's one. Remember Jim Trotter, NFL Network?
Yep. Oh, yeah. How can you
know? He asked a couple of questions to Roger Goodell. All of a sudden, they sent him packing.
Heaven forbid.
Well, did you know the NFL has offered him a severance package if he signs an NDA, which he hasn't, and he is obviously hiring up, lawyering up.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you like this. What did I say when this first broke, Maz and Ryan? I said, you can't do this to certain individuals. Certain individuals have been working very long. Certain individuals, they're not able to be bought. Certain individuals aren't able to be bullied. Certain individuals are actually just professional. They do a good job, and they're not bad people. So you can't, try to blackmail them with stuff. Jim Trotter's doing his job. Jim Trotter doing that. He pointed out something, got no answers, pointed out again, had information to back what he was saying, what he proved. I've talked to him a couple of times. He used to work for the USA Today, and I did a couple of interviews with him. Excellent journalist. This is going to be interesting to see how it gets. Because this is kind of like, hey, right now I'm on this mission. Like, I'm not going to let you bully me. I'm not going to let you just give me a deal and silence me. But you're talking 32 owners. How much money is that NDA being worth to be signed? So
I'll tell you, I do believe it's standard practice when you leave a corporation like that to get your severance and sign an NDA, or at least that's the offering. But you don't have to take that money, and you don't have to sign that NDA. Me, where's the frickin' pen?
Remember the show?
Hey, for the right price, though.
For the right price.
Yeah. Remember the Michael Keaton Dope Sick documentary?
Yeah, right.
They wanted those people to sign NDAs, and the one guy didn't, and that's how they blew it all up.
I absolutely admire Jim Trotter for this, because I don't know if I would have the strength to believe in something so much that you're just going to go not take the money, because it is about the money for so many people. It is. And I try to put myself in that position, and you want to say I would do what I think is right, but at the end of the day, you got a mortgage, and you got kids' colleges, and you got this, that, the other thing. So God bless Jim Trotter. We need more Jim Trotters in the world, but I'm not sure I would be strong enough to make that same decision.
The biggest thing with that, too, is you look at like that flip side of not making that decision, talking about what Jim Trotter is doing, that they're powerful, man. Like, because you're in the journalist game. Like, you're in the journalist, the NFL game. This is what you've been doing for years. USA Today, he still wrote in the NFL sports section in the USA Today. This is what you do. This is your business. If you get ousted from these guys, if you get blacklisted from the NFL and NFL Network and what they're doing, like, that's going to filter down to other blog sites, other things you intend to do, other places you try to go, use your business, your skills. They're going to blacklist you everywhere. So now you're going to be in a situation where you can't pay that mortgage. Now you're going to be in a situation where you have to downsize that car. Now you'll be in a situation where, so if you really believe in yourself, go for it. But if not, you're going to get blacklisted. So you might want to see what that offer at least is.
And not only that, Bray, too, but you got to keep in mind, you're going up against
juggernauts.
Yeah,
plural.
I mean, they got endless money. They could put you in the poorhouse on the legal, dragging it out over years alone. Like, are you willing to deal with all the legal fees that you will accrue over the course of 3, 4, 5, 10 years that they could just drag out and just bury you in legal fees like that?
Most lawsuits are lost because people run out of money.
Yeah.
And like most lawsuits are lost because people run out of the money. You run out of finance. Like, it's cool the first 6 months, but now you're looking up and you're 18 months in and you haven't been working. Now you look up and you're 32 months in and you haven't working. That stuff adds up. You're like, I'm out of dough.
And honestly, that's why rich people settle too, by the way. So many people will, if you're wealthy, you'll settle a lawsuit. Even if you know you're innocent or whatever, you just get it over with because you're not paying your lawyer, you're not doing this, you just get rid of it.
Yeah.
So that's what you
he's
do.
Probably not going to. He's probably not going to win this battle. He's probably not going to win this battle.
It's an Well, it feels like it's an unprovable
He's against the mob.
thing. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
How do you beat the mob?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't.
They run out of time, and before you know it, you mince meat. How about DeAndre Hopkins, D-Hop?
Yeah.
He's looking for a new team because he's with the Cardinals. He's in purgatory. They're not going to keep him. They can't find anyone to trade with. They might release him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Oh, wow, this is from ML football, who a lot of people love. Oh, wow. I mean, basically, it says exactly that. It says exactly what Matt said. And you look at it, why won't they bring D-Hop in? He's 3-time All-Pro. He's 6-time Pro Bowler. He's legendary. He's that good. He's still right now. You saw it in limited 7 games last year. He still had, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns, etc. Well, the thing is, last year he got popped with the performance enhancement supplements. Now he's getting older. Now you look at the tag on him, what they would have to give up for him and pay. Teams are like, we know you guys are going to get rid of him. We know you guys. We know he doesn't want to be there, so we can just wait for him to hit the market and just pick him up that way. It's an easy move. It messes with the Cardinals, but smart by every other team. Just wait until he hits the mark because it'll be a lot cheaper and you won't have to give up anything.
You know, this is a guy who plays football, the last 2 years notwithstanding. I mean, he's played pretty much every game in his career, minus the last 2 seasons, 21 and 22. He's only played in 19 games.
Now he's a damn good player, though, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the best when he's on, so
wait. See him working out with Derrick Henry, by the way?
I did.
He's
working out with everybody. He was working out with Des Bryant a couple months ago. So I thought that was going to be the move. I thought that was going to be their second receiver in Dallas. I thought it would have been D-Hop, but what could be a good landing spot for him? Maybe Kansas City? They don't have a number 1.
I don't know if they have enough money to give him.
Baltimore.
But here's the thing, too, though, about money. D-Hop's made some good money. Now, he can make more.
To go play with Mahomes, man, that would be great.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you tell me, like, if I'm D-Hop and you tell me right now I'm an $18 million a year receiver or $20 million a year receiver, and then Kansas City Chiefs tells me, hey, look, 14, come here. I'm going to Kansas City for 14. I sacrifice 4, pick it up on the back end somewhere.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, Maz, could you sit tight for a minute? I do have to get to a break, and
sure.
we'll finish up momentarily.
And we got to announce our winner for the Gardner White Woodward Sports Bracket.
Today is the day for that.
They probably would have won it 2 weeks ago. This
No kidding. Let me tell you about Custom Health Centers. That's right. Get a customized approach to your weight loss. Think of all the ways that weight affects your health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. They helped me lose 20 pounds, whether it's 20 pounds or 120 pounds. Custom Health Centers has the approach for you. All you have to do is take that first step. Call them today, 844-789-THIN, 844-789-THIN.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey, gang, it's almost there. It's almost that time. Thursday's coming up. Join the Woodward Sports family and over 100,000 other sports fans for the biggest party for Detroit's home opener this Thursday. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Grand Slam Festival at 350 Madison Avenue. It's the biggest tent party in the D. Or check in with our Woodward Sports team at the Block Party, at the Brass Rail, Love It Tequila, and Annex. Baseball season's here. There's only one city that can handle Woodward Sports, and that is Detroit. We'll see you in the D on Thursday.
Only one CD. That's right.
Hey.
Looking forward to opening day, and I am glad that the Tigers won a game, so they just don't come back winless. You know,
They totally needed
that. That would totally suck. And they were up the whole game yesterday.
Yep. They made a change, pitching change.
Absolutely. They would have blown that game yesterday. Not to say that, it is what it is, but you need the freaking win. You got to win a couple of games here. Heaven forbid if you could win one more in Houston. If you can win one of these next 2 games, at least it give you a little bit momentum on a series win.
Definitely give you some momentum. Coming back, like you said, definitely give you some momentum coming back. Opening day, huge time. It would be great to have a couple of wins back-to-back, especially over the Astros. So we'll see.
Maz, where are we broadcasting from?
We're going to be down at Madison Ave, underneath the big tunnel, underneath the big tent there. We're at 350 Madison Avenue, right by the.
We would be right here.
Yeah, we're going to be right by the music hall.
Right here.
Oh, get out!
Remember, last year it was that huge tent. Parties were going over.
It's there every year.
Yeah, Stick is going to be there and running all those DJs there, and plus we got our street team out there as well.
It's either there or the other side. Like it was sometimes it'd been on the other side of the music hall with that parking lot on the other side of the street. But it was fun. Had a lot of fun doing it last year because we went before our broadcast did too.
Then we went to Brass
And then we
Rail.
went back to Brass Rail and did the broadcast. And then I went back to kick it with Stick and those guys. Shout out to Stick. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Shout out to Stick.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to see you.
We miss you.
Thursday.
Looking forward to seeing Stick.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
so it's a lot of fun. I
Kill
can't
me
wait.
with those DJs. I wish my Lily was home for this one because not only would she have a great time, but do you know she's doing a little DJing on the side?
Get out of here.
Yeah, she wanted a DJ board for Christmas, which we got her.
Right.
And, we went and we got her one of the better ones so she could work with it. And she's been doing a lot of practicing up at Michigan State, and she's going to get out there one of these days.
Next time she's home,
DJ Lil Maz.
We know a DJ. His name is DJ Tom T.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we can get a little jam session.
I'd
with
love
her
that.
And DJ
Maybe Tom can give her a little lesson.
Show her a little bit of what it takes.
I started DJing when I was probably 05.
Yeah, you were DJing in Miami, weren't you?
Yeah, I DJ in Miami, DJ here at Crave back in the day. I did Elysium a couple times.
I think you should DJ during our show.
Because I got hurt. I could do that. I have time coming here, set up, and we can get down. But
Braylon be like,
I'm good, man. I'm telling you, I just always love music. I always love being able to control the party. And then I got injured, tore my ACL my rookie year. And to find a hobby, like one of the guys on the team, DJ, he tore his knee up the year before, started DJing. So I bought the equipment, and that's all I did was go rehab at 6 a.m. and be done at 10. And I DJ from like 10 a.m. to like 10 at night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I told Lil there's already a DJ Maz in Detroit.
Is there?
There is a DJ Maz. No relation.
What about DJ Lil Maz?
There's no DJ Lil Maz. So we got to get her out there.
All right, hey Maz, what's up with the bracket challenge winner?
Hey man, you got the winners right there in front of you, but let's go over them. Our Woodward Sports Network Gardner White bracket winners. First place goes to a guy by the name of Clark W. That's his screen name, and guess what it stands for? Clark W. Griswold.
Oh, get out of here.
His real name is Jeffrey Brown. He's from Lansing, and he won himself $1,000 and 2 Lazy Boys.
Isn't that something?
I need to see his bracket.
How great is that?
Yep. And you know what? He got in touch with me like a week ago. He says, "Man, I don't think anyone can touch me." And he was right. He wound up winning it.
That is incredible. And that's what happened in this tournament. A lot of people essentially won the tournament about a week ago.
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
It's over.
And second place, I happen to know this kid from a good family in St. Clair Shores and Grosse Pointe. Parker O'Neill. He goes to West Virginia University. The kid's
West Virginia
he goes to West
University.
Virginia. His dad, Marty
Country
O'Neill,
roads.
is a good buddy of mine. I said, "Hey, Marty, you got to get everybody involved in this Woodward Sports bracket." So he sends it to him, his friends, his son. His son comes in second place. So Parker's going to get $500 and a Lazy Boy from Gardner White. Isn't that awesome?
I want to get the Lazy Boy. Did I win the Lazy Boy?
You did not.
They got some good Lazy Boys there.
They do. I got myself a couple coming up here. By the way, third place went to Logan Wolf of Clinton Township. You got more of the details there, Rye, so I'm going to leave it to you to read something.
Logan will win 1 Lazy Boy recliner.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Tiebreaker for third place was the difference of 1 point.
You believe this?
There were 135 total points scored in the game, and
each person had their own score.
Yeah.
So Logan wound up winning third place by like 1 point.
Yeah, 150.
There were 2 other guys that just missed it.
152 points. A guy by the name of Stephen Chonacki got 152 points.
He just missed
it. And Wolfie over here, Logan Wolf,
he's the
had
Wolfie.
151 points.
So he was closer to the score. They both went over the score, but he was closer. It's not Price is Right. You don't lose by going over. So let's thank our good friends at Gardner White there, right?
Absolutely. Special thank you to Rachel Tronstein Stewart, the president of Gardner White, for this partnership and allowing us to partner up with you over the course of the last month. This has been fantastic. It was something really cool to do and sign up and make your brackets. And
do you guys know what place you came in?
I do.
I was crushed.
Okay.
This was my worst year ever.
I don't think I looked like after.
I got to relook and see where I finished.
I think after Sweet 16, I stopped looking.
Where'd you finish, Matt?
I don't know.
I finished 624th place.
Oh, that's better than me.
624th place. I did. You know what? I changed my bracket. I did have UConn winning this bracket. I had UConn winning my Fox 2 bracket.
Oh.
And I had UConn winning this bracket as well. And then I saw Dan Dockich post his winner.
Yeah.
Moments before the tournament started, and I changed this Woodward sports bracket to his.
Always go with your own mindset.
And I had Gonzaga winning it.
All right, so you finished what number?
624.
I finished 864.
Get out of here.
Yes, 864. Brady, you know where you finished?
I'm looking at mine now.
Anyway, congrats to Clark W. Griswold, alias Jeffrey Brown of Lansing, $1,000 winner from Gardner White, and 2 Lazy Boys. Parker O'Neill second, and Logan Wolf finishes third. Everybody take home a Lazy Boy or 2 and get to Gardner White. My wife, we went there like when we first started this bracket. We picked out 2 chairs, and I picked out a couple of shelving units from Gardner White. Great customer service, wonderful people, and a showroom like I've never seen before. So get on out there to Gardner White.
829.
829.
So I won.
You did the best.
The Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show.
You beat me, Bray, by 40 spots.
Maz finished last. Maz finished last.
Well, we don't know. Maybe Fletch and JB finished behind me.
But technically, last year I won out of us. So I got to win.
Now
I got to win.
JB, you know where you finished?
Got a W. At one point last year, remember, Maz, because I was updating.
Check it out.
I was updating last year. At one point last year, I was in like 8th place.
Right.
And then it slowly went back down. I think I finished 29th.
I had UCLA winning mine.
What a shame.
Gonzaga finished my dream early. Then I had Alabama in one. That ended abruptly.
What a shame.
That ended
must have went to Max.
Wish I had San Diego.
All right, Brett, get us out of here.
No. You get us out of here.
All right, guys, what a day for it is. Today is the Tuesday. What a day. We love everybody. We just want everybody to love everybody.
ELE, baby. Everybody love everybody.
Keep loving. Just be lovers out there.
That's Jackie Moon, baby.
Stay healthy, stay safe. Gotta go. See you tomorrow.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.